Welcome to Lifelong Running, the channel where we help you run faster, smarter, and injury-free. We're going to look today at sauna use and see how that might have a benefit to your performance. You might think, well, why would that happen? I'm not running, I'm not strength training or doing anything like that, I'm just sitting. But there's been a lot of work in the last at least 20 years that have focused on sauna use in terms of performance. We already know there's some great benefits from sauna use in terms of long-term health and cardiovascular risk and so on, but recent work has given us some good information about how we may perform better, especially if we're going to go perform in a hot or humid environment. I'll answer 3 questions for you today. First, what happens to our body when we are in the sauna? How might it help in terms of performance benefit? And then finally, the prescription of here's what kind of time you should spend in the sauna, along with how frequently sauna use should be included in your training. When you first get into a sauna, your body temperature will be elevating, and that will lead to the blood going more towards the skin, and you'll begin to sweat. Our body is trying to keep body temperature down while the sauna is trying to raise the body temperature up. Now, when that happens, there's these adaptations going in the body over time where we become more effective in sweating. There's a nice review article out there that's cited quite often that says the primary benefit to sauna use in terms of performance is that we become more effective at sweating. That means when we're out there running, especially if it's hot and humid, then our body is going to be better at thermoregulating, and that requires energy. So we can use that energy elsewhere if we're better sweaters. The second benefit is that our plasma volume will increase. We'll have more blood, specifically the plasma component of it. When we are in the sauna and the blood is going more towards the skin, our body recognizes that the core is not getting as much blood because it's now moved somewhere else. And there are some reactions in the body that help produce more plasma volume. Now, we need to be careful about making sure that we get good hydration, especially when we get out of the sauna and we've lost quite a bit of weight from sweating. But when we have good hydration and use the sauna effectively with the right amount of times, then we get an increase in plasma volume. So that doesn't necessarily increase our VO2 max, but it will allow us to have more blood in our body. So when some of it goes to the surface, we still have a good amount for the muscles and heart and so on to take advantage of. That helps us run with a little bit lower heart rate because we're able to stroke more blood through with each beat of the heart. And that has some nice benefits in terms of performance. Now you might wonder, well, how much? Is it worth it? We're going to be spending a few days a week of extra time in the sauna, and if it is going to change my marathon time by 2 seconds, do I care that much about putting that effort in? In 2007, one of the earlier studies looking at performance found a 7% increase in plasma volume from the subjects that they had in there, and they observed a 32% increase in time to exhaustion. So they did a treadmill running test, set it at a certain speed, and see how long someone can go at that speed until they say, I need to finish. So a 32% increase in time to exhaustion sounds enormous. There's been other studies since that have found smaller benefits there. Whenever you get one study, it's always good to kind of compare similar ones that investigated some of the same questions. What is consistent is performance benefits are available, especially when you include the hot and humid environment for racing, because you're having less thermoregulation needs because you're more effective at that, and you have a bit more plasma volume, and that's going to help us in terms of performance. The exact amount is still kind of in question. Now, exactly how much time we should spend in there is going to vary a lot between people. So definitely make sure you get any kind of medical checkup you might need before you start sauna use to make sure it's safe for you. But if you're going through the typical prescriptions that are given out there in the research, then we start with about 15 to 20 minutes, 3 or 4 times a week. And the nice thing is a lot of those benefits come in the first week or two of doing this. So one article found around 75 to 80% of the adaptations that we get from sauna use come after just a few sauna sessions. And then continued consistent use will increase that further. But how much time to exactly do? Most of our team here goes between 20 and 30 minutes. I've gotten in the habit of trying for 30 minutes, but if I'm getting too high of a heart rate or feeling just not right, then I'll get out after about 25. Part of that would depend on if you're getting into the sauna right after a run where your core temperature is already elevated, then you need a bit less time in there. If you are a bit dehydrated one day when you get in, then it's probably wise to shorten that session also. Then it's how do we each respond to this? So here's Connor, Clayton, and our data from today in terms of heart rate for a 30-minute sauna session. And you can see the increase in heart rate is not the same for all of us. The starting and ending heart rates are not the same. But usually we notice that Clayton is the one that could just stay in there forever. And Connor and I are tapping out earlier. And it comes down to a lot of factors within the body in terms of what your core temperature is, how well you handle changes in temperature. And so there's not an exact prescription of you should do exactly 27 minutes, 11 seconds. Maybe for one person that might be the case, but how we respond is an individual thing. How we respond over time might change how long you should be spending in there and how many days of the week you should do it. So learn for yourself through practice, see how your body responds, and then you can dial in on what's best for you.